If you knew what I know, all the lies I've been told, the shy I've been told. I love my country, but don't ask me why today. Because my ancestors were here 100 years or so before it was a country. Now what I speak of is our economic death as a nation and for nations around the world. Worse yet, for you and me. Now, I didn't make this video to scare you. We're already frightened enough. It's simply a warning, and I don't have a solution. Do you? Like over 12 million other Americans in the last 10 years, my home went into foreclosure in 2009. I figured, no big deal. If you can't pay, they foreclose. I just wanted to make sure they did it right. Being broke, like everybody else, I couldn't afford an attorney, so I did it myself. And what I learned is most of the foreclosures in this country are illegal, just like mine, and what I would like to do here is show how it can happen to you. Now, to begin with, banks, unless they are note holders, do not have enforcement authority. The mindset of most courts is, you signed, you are responsible, the banks are rich so they must be right, and they seem to forget that the banks signed it too. Now the houses you see here are those across the country for sales by banks. 90% of foreclosed homes are not on the market. They're being held so as not to crash the market and waiting until the prices go up. Now, it all began with the Community Reinvestment Act in 1977 under Jimmy Carter. Subsequent administrations and Congresses tweaked it along, and many in Congress honestly believed it was the right thing to do. Many were paid for this belief. William K. Black wrote a book about the savings and loan scandal of the 80s. The best way to rob a bank is to own one. The savings and loans then, under Ronald Reagan, focused on business construction loans, but we didn't listen. And dating back to 2000, 18 different economists in different parts of the world, using 3 different approaches, predicted the 2008 collapse due to home mortgages. But we didn't listen. Now there's a 30-page list of economists who reported on this in the links below. MIT just predicted 2030 as doomsday, and that's far enough away so we don't have to think about it, so we don't have to listen. And if it happens sooner, they'll just say, oops. Now a lot of people think, I've got a good job. It's a secure company. I'm a valuable employee. I'm a staunch Republican or Democrat or white or minority. It can't happen to me. A lot of people in cardboard boxes thought the same thing. They are not unemployed because their benefits ran out. You are only unemployed if you are receiving benefits. Besides, you're a middle-class American with middle-class values. Well, please look at this graph of wealth distribution in America. This is what we think it is. And although we think, it's okay for people to get ahead, maybe they're getting ahead a little too much. Now, this is what it really was in 2009, and it's worse now. Most of the middle class lives below the poverty level. In 1991, Congress passed an act making FDIC responsible to share losses with banks on foreclosure cases, so they have no risk. So they could make any kind of loan they wanted. Now, when I file bankruptcy, the bank will collect up to 95% of its loss, including legal fees, plus all the late fees and other bogus fees totaling more than the original mortgage. Oh, they sold my note to Fannie Mae 5 days after I signed it, so they've already been paid once. And they assigned the mortgage to a REMIC fund that was closed, voiding the note. Now, there are $3 trillion in pension funds invested in REMICS, and you thought you were going to retire. Well, when I file bankruptcy, FDIC will pay the bank, raise premiums to all the member banks, and the member banks will pass the cost on to you and me. I may fight it in bankruptcy court, and then I may not. Now, as it slowly approaches and we think we're immune, more businesses will fail, more will be unemployed, jobs outsourced. Fewer will be paying taxes, so taxes will be raised. Those unemployed will flip burgers until that won't pay the mortgage, and they'll be foreclosed upon, including those getting deals on foreclosed properties. But government news is so rosy. Now, I've posted links to all this if you're interested in validating what I say, and I don't know if this is the work of some economic cowboys or a grand conspiracy by some vague group, but either way, it's working. So like another patriot long ago, this is just a warning, like the British are coming. Do you have a solution? Thanks for listening.
If you knew what I know, all the lies I've been told, the shy